Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show. Just getting set up here. Hope you're all doing very well. Good to see you in the chat. Nice to see the likes of Frostcrest and Supernova. That Jiu-Jitsu guy. Dave's not here, man. Sally Mander. How you doing, Sal? How you doing, Frostcrest? How you doing, guys? Let me know how you are in the chat as I get my screen set up. Whoop, whoop, whoa. How exciting. I am super happy to be here today. Really, yesterday was great. Thanks so much to everybody for making it such a great stream. So as you can see, everything's a little bit of a mess on my Streamlabs, and it's taken me a minute to get started. But I didn't want to keep everybody waiting for ages, so just get this set up. Get it set up. Okay, so there's that. And let's see if I can get this chat to look a bit better. Can I get a style a bit better? Maybe leave it up on screen, make it look a bit better. Theme. I'll go for boxed. Try that for a second. That's easier to read, so we'll go with that. Good morning, Rocky from Toronto, Canada. Nice one. That sub has the boss. Morning, Rocky. Loving the pre-market streams. Woo! Excellent. Nice one. So I'll leave the chat like that and bring myself a wee bit smaller down here below. Excellent. Right. Nice one. Zoom's different on my camera today. So get that like that. Way! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Brilliant. 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 Whoop, 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 whoop. Let's bring up the... Let's bring up that Crayon with Friends chart, and I'll get my dual screen layout on the go and all that. There we have those two. And we see yesterday, what's that price as well? Whoa, 213 that it ended at. Jeepers creepers. Ow. I think I said that in the first 15 minutes of the day. Not going to hold myself to such a high standard every time. Haha, that would be impossible. Yeah, Supernova. Whoop, wow. Hopefully we can hit 220 today. Yeah, big time. Hopefully, totally. It'd be awesome if we could hit 220 in terms of concurrent viewers as well. I don't know what the peak was yesterday. Might have been wonderful. Might have been dunderful. I don't know. I don't know. Apple Blossom, good to see you. Yeah, Apple Blossom's here as well. Whoop whoop. She believes in us. She's back, everyone. Keyboard Cowboy. Hey Rocky and TradeSpotting, the new style of quick to 3-5 minute ticker videos works very well for my friends that are just getting interested in TA. Way fantastic. Well, they don't work very well for me on the old YouTube Adoros in terms of the numbers that people watch of them, but that's fine. It's fine. It's all fine, you know. I know that you guys and everybody are watching them. Fantastic things like the stats on there. My latest little clip for Bitcoin and other cryptos or whatever got something like, I don't know, almost like 30% or something like that like ratio, which is mental because as well, YouTube knows fine well that it's been watched more than once by people. So of all the views that it got, not all of those views are unique people. So it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. I think that's a little bit too... Is that a bit too tall and whatnot? Maybe make it a bit smaller there on the screen. Maybe make it a bit smaller, and then we'll get the show off to a roll. Yes! Daniel the Sage, Fiverr. Yes! Wow, brilliant. You know what? I realized something. Earlier on when I was watching a video that Bad Mama Jama, the legend that he is himself, shared with me. That, you know, it wasn't the video that made me realize, I don't think, or maybe it was, I really don't know, but I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, feck, you know, I got so emotional with these donations that came in yesterday. Positive, good, you know, positive and everything, super good, but it's like, why am I finding it hard to process these emotions? You know, why am I finding it hard to process these emotions? And it's weird. It's because they're good emotions. It's because it's happiness. My brain's like, what? What's that? What's happiness? You don't deserve that. So it'll take me a wee while to get used to that, because I'm not, yeah, like I say, I'm not very used to sort of feeling the old happiness on the go there. So yeah, excuse me if I get emotional any times. It's not negative, never is. It's just simply that I'm so unused to experiencing joy, mental as that may seem. I do experience it, of course, while I'm trading, but you know, you've got to be super unemotional when you're trading and whatever. And then as well, like yeah, whatever, lots of other stuff. It's amazing. You don't get validation when you get a correct trade when you've been trading for a while, but see when somebody donates to you, oh my god. We're men, emotions scary, says Frostcrest. Yeah, thanks, good summary. Yeah, totally. Tiger Blood says, I'm trying to scrape up enough for another share or two of GME before we take off. Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? Daniel Assange dropping in another tenner. Man, thank you so much. Really is genuinely, yeah, super great, super great. I just have to get used to it, you know, just have to get used to feeling happy, and then I'll be able to keep going with the streams. A bit better. I don't know if the noise outside, I don't know if there's any noise coming through from outside. I know my window's right there and I live on the noisiest street in like Northern Europe, but but let's hope for the best just now. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll see if I can get my let's go back to the Church of AMC and GME. We'll do our crypto stuff and all that before the markets actually open up. It's 20 to 2 UK time, so the markets open up at 2:30 UK time. So that gives us 50 minutes. That's loads of time to chillax and get preparado. And we can look at anything as well. Maybe in this sort of relaxed, preparing early doors stage would be a good time to take a look at any sorts of DDs or anything that people want to read. You know, that might take a little minute or two longer to go through. I was in a couple of videos out at the minute that I wanted to kind of watch, but I haven't got around to watching yet. For example, one that Jackson Hunter, great guy, love you man, put out on YouTube like 18 hours ago, but about the S3 stuff, and as well talking about the convertible bonds and this idea that you can sort of, you know, increase your position on a company by means actually outside of the stock market itself, but it still gives you essentially an option, and therefore you are able to short against that and etc. and make money that way, you know, on paper. Because you're being paid an interest for the convertible note throughout it as well. Interesting stuff. Now, of course, you can't short convertible notes themselves, unless they've come up with a new system, which I'm unaware of. But you can use them to sort of cover your position as you take shorts in the traditional market, in the traditional method. Right. Yes, no, I was in the middle of doing something for my... Yes, I want to read... So there's sort of interesting stuff like that out there in the world that people maybe want to talk about, in which case, because I've got YouTube links are banned in the chat there, don't know what we'll do about that. Maybe through Discord or something. Where's my audio thing? Because I want to set it so that it comes through from the voice mod. Voice mod, where are you on this list? Microphone? Nope. Cable? Nope. Voice meter? Nope. Droid cam virtual audio cable? Nope. Why is it not got a voice mod? I want to have voice mod on. I want to have voice mod on because I want to go back to the church. Let's take me to church and talk about AMC and GME. I'll buy shares. Hi Rocky, says JT858. Been lurking for a while. I think my 2 brain cells are slowly absorbing the knowledge. Thanks. Yes! And a $5 as well from JT858. Thank you so much, man. That's quality. It's great to see. It's great to know that that people's brain cells are absorbing the information little by little, and that's brilliant. It's every sort of step that you take forwards in this journey that you're doing here at the minute is a step forwards towards a skill for life, and it's not just a skill for life that will get you money. I mean, what are you going to do if everything goes to plan here with MOAS and you turn into some sort of never has to work again, set for life, and whatever wealthy means for you, personal approach? When you've achieved that, what are you going to do? And if you start going into trading without any skills, well, then you'll completely undo all of the good work that you've done getting to that place in the first point. You don't want to do that. So great time to learn while you still have the financial motivation to do it. Very bad time to learn whenever you are wealthy to begin with. Peter Brandt, great phrase from him. Peter Brandt, a guy that I respect quite a bit in trading, said one time when asked, I think I'm going to give him the credit for it, but it's actually something is a joke which has existed for at least 120 years, but I'll give him the credit because he's about 120 years old. I'll say is that when asked what's the quickest way to make $1 million trading, well, it's to start trading with $100 million. Yeah. Basically, the quickest way to make a lot of money in trading is to start off with a heck of a lot more money. Right. Yeah. So I am not a cat. There was a long DD post, the long TLC, TLC, the long TLC. I don't know. Around crypto and GME. Was curious if you'd seen it, Rocky Outcrop. No, I've not seen it. Wonder what it says. It's interesting stuff. I don't know if there's I don't know what sort of thing we need to think about in terms of the total market caps and stuff like that. But even if the hedge funds has extracted out half the value of the total market cap into their actual own coffers, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough to stop any sort of MOAS from crushing them, etc. But yeah, there could of course be correlation there. I need to get this. I need to get this thing. How do I get it? I need to. I'll see if I can add another audio source. I have to have Church of AMC back. It was so good. I really liked it. It was really great. What's that? D. Harker. Oh, dropping the stripper name, hey? Dropping the stripper name, you cheeky son of a gun. Cocky out flop. Yeah, the man. Can't wait for your OnlyFans later. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, well, I'm not setting up my OnlyFans until I've got the good quality camera. I want everybody to see all of my pores, you know, all of my pores. OnlyFans. You asked for orifices. You were given 50 billion orifices. So that my wee notification thing is too wee. I notice now it's too frickin' wee. Let me just stick it. I'm gonna still just balance it on top of the kind of stick it up on top of the chat box that's up there, and if people donate, then it'll show up on top of the chat. I don't know. Space is a premium around here. Yes, cocky out flop. I'll close this thing. I want to do Church of AMC. Church of AMC. I really want to get it. We're going to voice mod. Right, going to add an additional audio source. And I know. This is risky. This is risky. It might not sense it. Audio input capture. Right, I'm going to add source, and I'm going to go add a new source because the other one wasn't working. And I'm going to call this old one voice mod, even though, yeah. Add source, right? And then where's it coming from? Microphone, voice mod, virtual. Yeah, done. Yeah, brilliant. So now I'm sounding double. Hold on a second, folks. I'll get rid of sounding double. I'll get rid of that. Ha! Fooled you for a second. You thought I'd completely messed up. Voice mod. Right, okay, so just check sound. Oh, I'm echoing. Ooh. Shit. Oh, there's still two of me. Oh. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, friends. Ha ha ha. See if this isn't working. See if this isn't working. And I can't tell because I'm not watching. Yeah, problems, right? Problems. It keeps going into the red on this thing. I'm going to bring it down a wee bit. I know people like a bit more volume, but I don't want it to be peaking when I'm just talking normally. Hello, hello, hello. No, no. Hello, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, ha. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Church of AMC and GME. We are not a religion. We are far bigger than that. We are millions upon millions of crazy apes eating crayons. In today's sermon, we'll be talking about how the prices of GME and AMC will be ascending to celestial levels, cracking past prices we have never seen before as we go up towards the heavens. Turning over to the choir of AMC and GME for our first hymn of the day. Feel free to sing along. Ha ha ha, AMC GME, we are going up to the heights we've never seen. But I'm loving it, yes, loving it. I'm loving it. We're winning, we will win forever. Ha ha ha. Wow, that was a lovely song. That was absolutely wonderful. Well done, well done to the choir, the church choir, the Church of AMC choir hymn group, singing along there for us. Right. Uh, there's other ones. There's other ones as well.
Hello, everybody. I'm the inner voice of Ken GRIFFIN. I'm here to tell you what I don't want anybody to know. So let me just tell you what I'm scared about at the minute. It'll help me sleep better. Please let me tell you, everybody, what I'm scared about at the minute. And then when I go to bed later on, I'll feel better. So I'm scared about AMC at the minute. It's kind of scary, guys. This might ruin my company. I have a company. It's called Citadel. It's really good. It's really big. I love it. I make £64 million a day. Yay! I'm the 13th richest man in the world, and my company's a wee bit scared about this at the minute. Makes it hard to sleep. It's hard to sleep at the minute because the price of AMC might be in an ascending triangle. And I'm short. I'm short on this one. I'm short on this one. And the prices at the minute, they're only like $56. And if we can push it down from here, then we're great. But it might go up. It might go up. It might bust through $64. And if it busts through $64, and all the new rules make it so that it's harder for me to get infinitely more shorts on this one, and it just makes it harder. And none of the brokerages are sharing are getting their customers to lend their shares on margin. They're not lending their shares on margin. I need Did you release some of those shares? I don't know. I don't know.
I am Ryan Cohen. I will release some shares, but it will mean that I have $1 billion more money in my treasury. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Anything, Ryan! Anything! Just try anything! Just try anything!
This won't work for the hedges. This is just making GME stronger. We're stronger now, by the way, Ken. You don't want this to happen, Ken.
But I need the shares! I need the shares! I need to borrow the shares! And it didn't work! Now I can't sleep! I can't sleep anymore! I might get shaken out! I can't sleep! I can't sleep! If the prices take it $220, then I'm starting to feel pre-Melvin over here. I'm starting to feel Melvin. Maybe I can stop them. Maybe I can stop the prices. Maybe I can stop the prices at 250. Maybe I can stop the prices at 300. Maybe this time. Maybe this time I'll stop the prices at 300. Maybe. What is that? No! No, don't show me! No, don't make me look at the invite! No! Don't show me this! No! No! This was negative! I know! When I short things, I short them when they look like this! And it's going up! Instead of that, it's going up! And I should long this! Because this is what I short! And that's what it looks like! No, don't show me the inverted chart! Don't show me the inverted chart! No!
Yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on over there in Ken Griffin's mind. Sorry. I enjoyed that. I don't know. If voice mod works during that, then it might be marginally funnier. I'm working on a baseline here. Right, okay, so no, says Eddie. Go back. Go back. You're gonna need a redo with a different voice. Okay. Sorry. Oh, Nightmare Shake says Limafao. Ryushu says, what did I just tune into? You just tuned into the Church of GME.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Church of GME.
I don't know what that voice is. Great. Shazza had a good time. Excellent. Nice one. If anybody watching fancies hitting the like button, that would be good. If Ken Griffin's nightmare therapy session there was in any way useful to you, I don't know. That might have been at least a little bit of light entertainment. Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks so much to everybody for being here and putting up with me as I get that off my chest, you know. Just need to get that off my chest. I see the Ken Griffin face gifs and memes and stuff, and I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him. So awful. It's so awfully sad. And stuff. So I thought so it's been making me think, oh, Ken must be scared of some things. He must be scared of a few things, and I was getting all this empathy for him, so I needed to get it off my chest. Feel a lot better now. We can get back to doomslaying. Back to the doomslaying. Whoop whoop, says Chris K. Yeah, epic, says Queen B. Yeah, Chipmunk Crazy TA. It was Ken Griffin's inner voice. That's all it was. It's Ken Griffin's inner voice talking about what he's scared about. Gold, Rocky Outcrop, you have to clip that. I don't know, do I? I hope so. All right, okay. During that, I saw a couple of messages come in from Frostcrest, where he's got interesting things to say. Rocky Aircrop, when you go to the GameStop NFT page, this hash code is present. What is this identifier? It links to some transactions. Oh, absolutely. I can explain that for you real quick. So what was it again? It was like nft.gamestop.com. Okay, so the page that he's talking about, that Frostcrest is talking about here, is this page. And it's like, it's been called a number of different things. A hype page, it's been called. I'm going to just zoom out a bit. No, I'm not going to zoom out a bit. No, I'm going to go back to normal. Oops, I've broken the page. Right. Yeah. It's a nifty little thing, isn't it? Nifty, NFT. That's why I've been saying nifty so much, by the way, recently. If people have been wondering, I've been saying nifty an awful lot because NFT, it's nifty. Anyway, nobody noticed that one yet, but I've just, so I suppose we're on the page now. So I threw that out there. Nobody put two and two together, though. All right, power to the players, power to the creators, power to the collectors. Whoop, 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 spin around. It's so exciting, isn't it? Now, there's this hash here. We're building a team. The hash code, what that is an ERC, an Ethereum address. It's an Ethereum address, okay? Now, when you are on the Ethereum blockchain, no, that doesn't make sense. Ethereum is a blockchain. It is also a cryptocurrency, and it has utility, in that it is a network of computers around the world who process and send transactional information to each other. And it's secure and fairly rapid, etc. All these good things. Now, on that network, to leverage the computing power that already exists within it, the Ethereum network, you can launch ERC20 tokens. ERC20 refers to the process by which a new protocol is added to Ethereum. Ethereum, which can be described as being a blockchain, can be described as being a cryptocurrency, can be described as being some sort of utility token, can be described in so many ways, could also be described as being a protocol. There are protocols out there which you're already familiar with, one of which being simply the laws of the country in which you live. Another protocol that you're familiar with is the HTTP protocol, which is, of course, how websites work. When you go to a URL, which is HTTP, that is the hypertext transfer protocol. And the word protocol means that there's certain things that you can do, such as you can send a request for data and receive that data in the form of HTML on that protocol. There's other protocols such as that you're also familiar with, such as the XMPP protocol. That's also known as Jabber, and it's a method for sending messages to each other's mobile devices. And it's what WhatsApp uses, for example. It leveraged open source technology to make its back-end messaging system, which has been around since the 80s. Okay, so there's these different protocols. And when you want to add a new feature to the protocol, such as the XMPP protocol that WhatsApp uses, and so does iMessage, for example, on your Apple smartphone, and say, for example, you're Apple and you want to be able to send a picture message through this old protocol, which was invented back before there were such things as camera phones. Indeed, back before there was even information such as SVGs and other JPEGs and other ways of compiling down pictures, photograph quality pictures into just numbers. So you add a new part to the protocol, and that goes in with a request, and it's then reviewed by the people who review these things. You know, in terms of open source communities, it's quite a nebulous thing, and it works often through things like GitHub and communities that they have to kind of put these things together. They request them, peer review them, discuss it, and then put it through to a vote, perhaps, and then it gets applied to the protocol. So what is therefore an ERC20 token? Well, the 20th revision to the Ethereum protocol that was suggested as a candidate was the ability to create new tokens that would exist within the Ethereum network, leveraging its computing power to process transactions and the security of the network, while allowing people to start off their own chains or subchains, and that was the ERC20 protocol that was discussed, then voted upon, and everything else, and adopted into the Ethereum protocol as overall. So again, you could describe Ethereum as being a blockchain, as a cryptocurrency, or indeed as a set of procedures and protocols. And that is ERC20, and this is an Ethereum contract address. When you set up an ERC20 token, you do it using an Ethereum contract address. And what is this word contract? Well, it's a smart contract. What's a smart contract? Well, it's much like any other contract, but it's got dynamics within the contract which become executable upon certain conditions in the way that, computers and stuff work, which is much better. And if it was a real normal contract, it could be things like, if I give you a loaf of bread, you'll give me 10 pence every day, and you arrive, you give the loaf of bread, and they give you 10 pence every day, and it's all kind of, you give them the bread, and you're standing there waiting, and there's a moment where you think, are they going to give me the 10 pence? And then they do, and that's regular contracts. Smart contracts operate in a trustless environment, where basically you just turn up, chuck your bread in a box, and then by virtue of the fact that you chucked your bread in a box, that there's 10 pence is waiting in the other box because the program triggered it for you. You don't need to trust the guy, because if the guy on the other end hasn't put in the 10 pence, then you put in the bread doesn't mean you've lost your bread. It's still there. Smart contract. Now, to be able to create a ERC20 token and leverage the Ethereum blockchain, you create a smart contract which describes what your token is, in essence, such as the number of tokens that you might have, the types of information you might need, such as whether or not it's a fungible token or a non-fungible token. So there's so many different aspects to this, such as the release date, which got a lot of attention for this particular one here. So that's what that code is. It's a contract address, and it allows you to go in and then examine what that address actually has behind it and what's going on with it. It's called an Ethereum contract address. Now, this is nft.gamestop. And what is NFT before we navigate away from this page? And what was that word fungible that I just said? Well, NFT stands for non-fungible token. It is a token which is not fungible. What does fungible means? Well, fungible means that you can transfer one thing to another, and it's just the same no matter what it is. So I have water here with a bit of that plant in that fell off the other day when we were doing the live stream, and I have juice here. Now, while these two glasses look similar, the liquid inside, while it's made up of mostly the same stuff, isn't fungible. I can't take a little bit of this liquid and swap it with a little bit of this liquid. It's not the exact same thing. Whereas if I had water in this glass, I could swap the water from this glass into this glass because they would be fungible. Okay, so there'd be equal things that are transferable. The dollar in your pocket can be swapped for the dollar in my pocket, and there's no discernible difference. They're the same thing. Whereas you, as a unique individual human being, are most certainly not fungible, and your value is incredibly unique. So there's fungibility. What is a non-fungible token, therefore? Well, a non-fungible token is one which represents that uniqueness, in the sense that my non-fungible token is my non-fungible token, and your non-fungible token is your non-fungible token, and they're not the same. They are distinct. Now, they could be of the same thing. We've seen very popular NFTs recently get notoriety, for example, with NBA, the Basketball Association in America, releasing clips, little video clips of nice dynamics play moments within the matches where interesting things happen, and it's worth having a little clip of because it's memorable and great. So they make it into a little clip, and then they release that. Now, all of those clips are essentially showing the same thing, but they've each got their own unique serial code, and it makes it a collector's item in the way that your Pokemon cards, while you might have a Pikachu Pokemon card and somebody else might have a Pikachu Pokemon card, they're not fungible because yours is serial number 1 and theirs is serial number 10 million. So very different cards with the same face, in the sense that there's two glasses here. I've got the same glass. They look the same. One of them's got it's 99.999% water in it, but this one's got a little bit of sugar and flavor, and this one's got a plant inside it. They're not fungible. Okay, so which is a distinction between a cryptocurrency, for example. Now, a cryptocurrency is evidently fungible within itself. Now, of course, you can have various, you can have overlap there. There can be overlap, of course, there can be, but it's important to understand that the Ethereum can be known as a cryptocurrency, for example. But you can also have NFTs on the Ethereum chain, leveraging the protocol, which is Ethereum, and the network there, which are in and of themselves not fungible. Okay, right. So we can then search that contract address and see more information. Now, what this is going to do is bring up a website called Etherscan. Etherscan is a way of looking. It's just a layer which applies some pretty code, CSS, HTML, to make a website to look at the back-end data on the blockchain for Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is, of course, a public blockchain where all the transactions have got a hash, which is a series of numbers as described by Frostcrest earlier on, for example, and it is and letters, etc. And it is unique, and it can show you a transaction that happened, where that transaction came from, where it went to, what it was for, etc., etc. And then, of course, what contracts that transaction interacts with, and so on and so forth. So we can see here that we've got this contract. It says in the top left the word contract here. That's what the word contract means, because you have got an address which is specifically to a piece of code which exists on the network, which allows these things to operate around, and that forms the basis of your NFT, or of your ERC20 token. Okay, and then you can see over here that you've got all these different sorts of transactions. Now you've got different tokens going in here on Etherscan. These are the latest 25 ERC20 token transfer events, etc., or whatever. Now, somebody then who is that next step on from me in terms of analyzing these things, of which there are very, very many within the Rocky Outcrop community, having done cryptocurrency videos and analysis for 18 months or so on YouTube. So there's plenty of them out there who could then go from this point, and I would then rely on them to go from this point further to analyze really what these transactions are showing us. And you can look at the contract itself. Okay, now this is boilerplate, right? Mostly this is boilerplate stuff because that's the way that programming works these days. It's not an offensive thing to say that, but that's the way that programming works these days. It's called standing on the shoulders of giants, not reinventing the wheel. And one of the ways that you know that that's the case is because as part of this here, it's got a license, okay? And this is called the SPDX license identifier, MIT. So whenever you're doing any sorts of open source work, which this is, as you can see, there's the source code right there. It's very much open. You can attach a license to it, such as the MIT license. So the MIT open source license just simply is a couple of bits of letters that you put at the end of your code, and it informs people. In terms of some simple little things here, obviously you're creating software that you know is open source, but you want to have and you want to distribute it, but you don't want the people coming back to you and saying, "Oh, you broke my computer because the code you distributed was not good." So you put a little disclaimer and a license saying, "Well, if you're going to use this, then you have to accept that this software is distributed as is without any warranty, etc." As you can see there, and essentially as well, you see you can then go ahead and do anything that you like with this software. It doesn't even say that you need to, without restriction, right? You can use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sublicense, and/or sell copies. It's completely what this MIT license means is it's completely open, which is why you will see this in so many places when you look around at open source software. There are other licenses, such as the Apache license, So let's bring that up for a second. So you've got the Apache open source license. Is that right? Or did they just go their own one? Is it just the Apache's got their own one in there? I'm not 100% sure, but basically there's a lot of different ways of telling people that well, they've got their own software license. Yes, because they've got 350 Apache projects, yeah, and they use this Apache license here. And what essentially is the Apache license? I think it just generally basically says the same sort of things, except here it is here, open. Oh no, that's not it. What? Anyway, you take a bit of reading here, and I'm not actually doing a big sort of DD dive into this one. I just wanted to kind of let you know that this is just a way of saying that that's what this is here. That's why that says MIT on there, for example. Now, that sort of information, as you can see, so readily available on the internet that obviously, that's very well known, that information. So anyway, you've got then various other things here, and there's and this is going to be an NFT. So the way that this thing works is it's going to tell you all about the addresses that it can go from and to, and whatever else, and the various little components that'll happen with owning and transferring, etc. These sorts of tokens around, and it's very much sort of standard type of stuff. Okay, so that's what that is. That's what it is. And what essentially then this boils down to is that what you have here on this page is a job opportunity, which is for innovative people. And innovative people in the programming world often do things like with their CVs. They'll have, now my own particular CV is gone. I'm pretty sure I've not kept updating it, but I could just search on Google for programmer CV website innovative example, and you can see that there's the sort of things that people do. Probably if there's some sort of examples here, it would be cool if there was, because the sorts of things that you see inside the programming world is that people quite often make their own little kind of cool little sort of website where they say what they've been all about and how they work. And it's an innovative type of way of showing people that you're cool. And the same thing that companies do as well is that they have innovative pages to show that they're pretty cool, and they're trying to attract the top brightest minds to come and work on their project, which is essentially going to be in large parts an open source project as well, So then they're looking for exceptional engineers, Solidity, React, Python. Well, Solidity, what that means is the programming language that Ethereum have created for programming their smart contracts. React is a JavaScript framework for creating front-end websites, and Python is quite often then used as a back-end, really good object-oriented. Is it object-oriented? Is it script? Anyway, I don't know what. Yeah, I think it's object-oriented. Well, it doesn't even matter. It's a really good functional programming language that you've got there, essentially for people. Right, and and then they're also looking for designers, as in to connect up the contract, the contract that was just out there, open source and not actually on their own server, but distributed across the whole entire Ethereum network as part of the as what that is. React for their own website to show interactions between it, and then Python to kind of understand and process those things on their own end. Designers, gamers, marketers, and community leaders. If you want to join our team, send your profile or something you've built to nfteam at gamestop.com, and there's your contract address, and it's an open invitation in that way for people then to come back. And you can see there, they're not putting any requirements on people. They're just going to get swamped with things and be looking through and going, well, that's cool, and they themselves have got a cool process for doing it. And that's what we're looking at there. That's what that is. Beyond that, there will be strategic business ideas. There'll be implications perhaps for shareholders. There'll be all sorts of other things that go on. But what this is, on its most apparent, simplistic, Occam's razor explanation for what this is as an innovative page to attract innovative people to get involved in an innovative project. And that is what we're looking at there. Right, great, excellent. So, Cool. So you can absolutely go through there and you can look at the transactions that exist on Etherscan. It's 2:21 UK time, so that's a pretty good time to come back over here and take a look at some charts. Now, for me to be able to make a little crypto clip and not interrupt the live open markets would be nice, just to show us in terms of the extended markets. You know, we're in their extended hours. We're in there at the 214 level. We're in here in extended hours at the 5680. Yeah, exactly. We're doing all right. Oh, you can see it there on the screen anyway. Didn't need to have that up. Right, great. So we're those are the prices of those things. Let's bash out some cryptocurrency technical analysis here. Now, you saw me doing it yesterday. I've not looked at the Bitcoin chart today, although I suspect it's dropped down to 33,333 probably, despite what I was saying in my video yesterday, because, well, you know, tune into the live shows and whatever else if you want to know all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, so what prices does this come in at? 32,900, 33,000 was the low. Okay, and we came down, we tested, we broke down below the 200 simple moving average, and we're still down below it at the minute. You know, it's not particularly good. We're still waiting to see if we get a higher low in. This is flux along the way. Asking the questions then about this being like, you know, highs and lows and whatever else. It's just the same old, same old. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and talk about it like Elliott wave towards the top side. Then you could talk about it like 1, 2, 3 and talk about that as being a corrective wave towards the downside and therefore being able to push up then thereafter. That's all fine. We pushed down past the market structure. We broke down past 34,500. This was all kind of, you know, unfortunately, giving a lot of people opportunity to buy into this thing without it actually coming through to really work out, without going down and testing lower. We're still in the same boat at this point. You know, take out 33,000 and and it's exceedingly likely that we're going down to 30. We didn't take out a whole move down a further 10% simply as a result of breaking down from that point to its lows. That was only 3%. But in terms of the failure to achieve it down to where we've come so far, that's 6.5%. Whatever. Right. So anyway, what we're looking for is still the same story as yesterday, right? But I'm going to present it differently because yesterday I was talking about it extremely bullishly, right? The truth in this one is that it's quite likely, you know, as soon as we take out this 30, you know, we've come down to all the threes. Essentially, that's where I would have wanted to have bought it at roughly. And then if we take out the 33,900, 34,000 area again, well, actually, no, it's the 34,500 region. Then we could be moving towards the top side, like nice and easy. This could then therefore be on a slightly bigger time frame, a more noticeable higher low, low, high, low, and then on the way. And then the next sort of targets will be 38,000 and 42,000. It's the same range, the same TA as yesterday. Everything's the same, but we're going to present it incredibly differently, right? So just be aware of that. And that's happening now. Oh, and I'll run through Tezos. What you call it? What are the other ones I was talking about? Bitcoin, then Ethereum, then Chainlink, then Tezos. We'll do all of that, and it'll be quality. Right? Here we go. Hi, friends. My name's Rocky Outcrop. Oh, shit. I just hit end record. Right, start recording. Hi, friends. My name's Rocky Outcrop. Welcome to this little technical analysis session. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Tezos. There's interesting stuff happening in the... Wait a minute. Was I not supposed to start off? I was... Yeah, yesterday... Sorry. I'm doing that thing I did. I'm not going to do the episode like that. All right. Start again. Oh my goodness, Bitcoin is on its way down to $20,000. It was about to go to 54,000. Now it's on its way to $20,000. It's everything that we talked about yesterday has completely gone up the wazoo, and now everything's going to completely drop down all the way to $20,000. Very little that we can do about it. Let's take a look at the markets then for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Tezos, and of course then discover why I'm kind of... Spoiler alert. Right, here we have it, Bitcoin chart. Oh my goodness. Right. Okay. So we've made it through the sort of first 15 seconds of the show. We dropped down towards 33,000. We actually went a little bit, well, a little tad lower than that. And that buy area in at 33,000 was hit. Okay, so are we all right here or not? Well, we're actually still on for this. At this point, when we pulled down before, it wasn't really looking like a satisfactory pullback and that we could be heading down a bit further. We've done that now. We could go up the way, but we might not have done enough. So I'm going to examine that in just a second or two. But see, as soon as on this 4-hour time frame, we take out the 50-period simple moving average, it puts us in a position to go up towards the 200 simple period moving average on the 4-hour time frame. Take a look at this on the 1-hour time frame. As soon as we take out the 200 simple period moving average, which of course is the 50 simple moving average on the 4-hour time frame, we're on our way up towards the 50 simple period moving average up above. And it's the same sort of story, but here we have, of course, the bullish cross on the shorter term time frame showing us that we are on the way towards the upside if we can take out that 200. And over here on the 4-hour time frame, we're trying to undo the effects of a negative cross, giving us this idea of how important it really is to take out that 35,000 up to ways. We're still actually looking up towards 38,000, towards 42,000 in that region. We've talked about it an awful lot of times. Just check out my previous videos. It's not like anything's changed. And then we can look up towards higher targets. All right. If we start to break down the way even further, then maybe we do come in for that lower low, and it could give us that third drive of bullish divergence. Looking between the highs and the lows here of this recent pullback, going in from this low down here up to this high, then measuring where we come down to is bang down onto that 50% line. Dow Jones and his lover Jones Dow would be absolutely rolling in their bed sheets with joy over seeing that happening, right? So this could be a good area. The edge is there. We discussed it before. If we get the momentum towards the top side, all good. If we don't, then it's a damp squid. We'll wait and see how it goes. Right, I said damp squid. That's right, I said squid. I was going to say squib, but I forced it in. I kind of just tried to force it in at the end there. So Ethereum USDT, how's it doing? Well, it's the same story as well, is it not? We didn't actually manage to secure the 222222222 area until such times as the price is above 2,222. Then you are really kind of not there yet. In terms of closures, we did have one 4-hour candle actually open and close up above that price point, but really, no follow through, no real actually locking anything in there. Back down again, seeking out that 18 period. Is that 18 or 21? Hold on a second. The AMA2, the 18 period exponential moving average there on the 4-hour time frame, like it is a rhesus monkey in a cage looking for a furry toy. Right? My God, that was incredibly depressing. But that's what it's doing, okay? It's got attachment issues, and we're looking down the way, and we could, of course, have the prices come in towards any of these better buy areas than where it's at right now, but there is indeed an edge in the market right here, and we need to see if things continue to go up above and get momentum above those areas. It's largely the same story with Bitcoin in the sense that we need to see us not cracking down past significant areas. But one of the distinctions between Bitcoin and Ethereum, I suppose, at the minute is that Ethereum just came back down to retest that level. Put Bitcoin perhaps. I don't know. Whatever. What's the point in even making distinctions? Apples and oranges. Am I right? Anyway, currently though, there is this distinction. Okay, in the sense that we're just at the 236. We could obviously see the prices dropping down actually sub 2K if they wanted to do essentially what we talked about with Bitcoin there in terms of 50% pullback. Doesn't need to happen. No, it certainly doesn't. Let's just continue on the way. That's just where we are with the markets, right? We're still looking overall like we could have a bottom information coming in here, take out those lows, and then of course it's run to the hills. And then Link USDT over here, right? What have we got on the go? Well, we're below the 200. This is the story we just talked about in terms of Bitcoin. Watch 200 simple moving average, 50 simple moving average over there, golden cross, pop it onto the 4-hour time frame, 50 simple moving average here. But where's the 200 hanging out? Whoop! Shouting out, drop the charts. You're looking up towards that $23 area, starting to kind of starting to kind of piece things together here a little bit. So that's what we're aiming for. Market structure, very, very important. Bearing in mind that $20 is now going to obviously be resistance and support, but we're looking up there. Can we push higher? Securing $20 very important. Overall, broader term time frame, you could be seeing something like a descending triangle. I mean, and as well, like this is what we're talking about in terms of it's not what we're talking about in terms of the market overall dynamics and everything else. But when we look at AMC and GME at the minute, we're talking about how they look very, very bullish. You know, and again here, this looks very bearish, right? Let's just be honest with what it is, and then we need to see things taking out those higher areas, right? That's what we need to see happening, otherwise the story is not changed. Getting a couple of donations here, massively appreciated. I'll get around to sort of looking at them just as soon as I finished up this little section here. By the way, this is filmed during a live episode, so if you want to come and join us for a live, more than welcome to. Might even still be live if you come join. No, probably won't be. But, you know, certainly subscribe and like to the channel. There you go. There's your second opportunity. I promise you would get one. Tezos now hanging in there just shy of $3, okay? We're looking to see if we can get the prices to push up to all the threes, 333 cents per Tezos coin there. And the 4-hour time frame showing that we are indeed above that 50, looking towards that 200. We are above the 50 here on the 1-hour time frame, looking a bit better than the others. This is why a few days ago I was saying that this one looked quite good. You've now able to piece it together, and you can see in the 1-hour time frame that we are indeed above the golden cross that happened there, whereas on those other coins we're kind of waiting to see will that happen. Are we able to then therefore get continuation up the way? Things I haven't talked about in today's show would be divergence. Yes, RSI divergence on that one. No MACD divergence. You're seeing that there is a sort of confused aspect to this picture overall here, which is why I'm looking more towards the horizontals with this one, and of course these moving averages right now. Things looking pretty good. Targets towards the top side. If we're not going to make it the full way up towards 333 or 318, bearing in mind that we have to of course overcome that round number of $3 first. Pullbacks could see us going down towards 250 on this one. We have got of course our prior low coming in at 274, but if we take that out and look for a higher low overall, then I'm hoping for 250 to avoid having the continuation of the bearish trend. Oh my Jesus. Well, watch as this video gets less than 300 or less than 500 views anyway, despite possibly being the best sort of stuff. Right, anyway, love it. Help the channel, hit the like button. Please keep doing that. It will help. One day we'll get past the shadow ban. Thanks very much. Really appreciate all of you tuning in. In fact, I enjoyed this episode, this wee clip so much, and I'm going to go back to talking about the stocks that I've just opened up on the charts. That I'm actually going to run my intro clips again and let this thing run for 8 minutes so that I can do what the other YouTubers do and have a video that you can put ads in the middle of, and then maybe YouTube will show that to people because it's within their financial interests. There we have it, ladies and gents. So that's how that's done. And now, moving on then. So I'll publish that at some point. Thanks very much for your comments and whatnot in the meantime. I will get round to those super chats. They were maybe telling me that the markets have started, so I'll not delay any longer in looking at them. Before I get back to reading what they said, what yous are all saying. So we started off the day, bring up the 15-minute chart and see how things are going. Hit the auto button there. You can see there's a little bit of a gap up above us so far. The GME price is down at 212, where we kind of left off, 213. That's right. So we've got that little bit of a gap there. Will we find support here? This is the Bollinger Bands. In fact, that's what I'll do today for this one. I'll get rid of the VWAP, or maybe I'll look at VWAP for 2 minutes on AMC. Before we continue on, we spoke about this yesterday though. It's obviously useless on the 15-minute time frame until at least 15 minutes into the markets, you know, and that sort of a thing, because we've not even closed out a single candle as yet. It'll just be that intestine between the two chain link sausages, of course. So anyway, Bollinger Band style, looking here at 210. That'll be nice if we get a bounce there, just as like this continuation. Now, if we actually don't need to bounce because we're just going to find that we've arrived at this support of 212 and we don't take that area out and go back up, then what I want to see happening is to start tracing those Bollinger Bands towards the top side. This has given us a little idea, you know, at this point here we pull back significantly enough into the structure of the Bollinger Bands that should we wish to go on here and try a little bit more, then that's absolutely healthy and good. However, we've also pulled down enough that should we go up here and not take out our prior highs, then that's of course kind of a little bit kind of sucky and then puts a little bit of a sort of dampener on things. So personally, overall, I'm really happy if this goes to 210. I'm not bothered about it right now, just opening up the day's charts, bringing over this chart here and seeing $15. Now, we all have our own ways of looking at charts in the mornings and trading and everything, right? I'm not a financial advisor, okay? This is not financial advice, but this is me telling you how I would feel personally as I look at charts. And of course, there's plenty of people out there who I massively respect who look at things in the complete opposite way a lot of times. There's always going to be a dichotomy, and I respect that. That's the thing about trading, is that you actually can have your own opinion and be totally fine with that, while somebody else has a diametrically opposed opinion and it's still absolutely fine. There's tends to be more a case of being able to manage your risk appropriately, manage your exits appropriately, and of course be patient and prudent on all those entries, etc. And then of course probably you're also not you're not operating cross purposes with somebody who has a diametrically opposed opinion to yourself, you know, necessarily. And I found that an awful lot of times while discussing trading with my community over the last couple of years. Looking at this then, and as you can see, we of course have got that end point on our sausage, the little twisting around. Now I'm saying this, and I'm not sure if Americans necessarily know what a chain link sausage is. Let me just show you, because I know that sausage in America is like just like a load of mince, whereas, you know, the UK style, these things here, they look like this when they're raw. Come on, give us some raw images. Like this, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. Maybe you might know them if you eat chipolatas, for example, over there. The best type of sausage, if you're interested, is of course the, just in terms of the standard UK approach, would be the Richmond Irish recipe sausage. They're certainly the best ones in terms of those, okay? So that's what that looks like, and that's how VWAP operates, right? Right now, oh, great, nice one. So we're pushing up, we're doing well here. GME's actually already absorbed that. Great. It didn't close. Well, that was the point I should have made there, and they've got plenty of time. It didn't close down there. If we were to have seen a red, whatever, eh? Talking about it because I was aware that the markets had opened. I thought, oh hey, this is going to be closing in a second. So I was already talking about that. Brilliant, pushing back up there. That's fantastic. Here, we've pushed up a little bit. Now, I spoke yesterday about how this came up, or you know, the day before yesterday, and put us in for like the potential to have a negative day. And it's not like that's not some sort of like key to trading. In the same way that we had this big dump at the start of the 15 minutes, and that set us up for a positive day. That's again not it really. You know, we're going to be more sophisticated about that on this third time of asking. But at this point here, we can see that we're also pushing up, not past our previous highs. While it's going on here at this moment in time, we've not like gone up and pushed back and then pulled back from that area. So we haven't got a failure at that point. Whereas this push up here was like rejection and failure, you could see. And this dump down the way here was rejection and then failure in terms of the dump. So the what we have at the minute here is kind of in between, right? Despite the fact that it is pushing towards the top side. So this is obviously more neutral in terms of its start. And we're seeing that indecision in terms of the markets. Big wick towards the downside, going all the way down to 56.23. Price is currently at 57.10. Big wick towards the top side, going all the way up towards that 57.70 area. And now we're ending up this 15-minute. Well, we're not ending it up, but we've got 5 minutes left on it, and we're sat here with a doji. Doji being the it translates into English. Normally, people say indecision, whereas of course the Japanese word for doji, I think, of course, I say it as if I speak. Yes, of course. No, I don't speak Japanese, but the Japanese word apparently translates as mistake, which I think is somewhat more revealing of the individual experience of trading and then seeing a doji happen in front of you, as opposed to looking at it from the market-wide perspective of sort of indecision, which is what would happen if multiple people who took different decisions all then felt that they'd made a mistake afterwards. An interesting component to tag on to the end of that idea that I was saying just a minute ago about how two people with diametrically opposed opinions could, of course, be operating, you know, not cross purposes by having those opinions. And you can see that represented beautifully within the 15-minute doji candle formation as you watch it happen live. So here we have it. That's the start to the markets right now. We are open. We are trading above 213 for GME. We're trading above 56.56 for which is above the average price here over the last day and a half for AMC, and we're doing pretty good overall. I'm going to swap this out probably for the Bollinger Band. It'll be interesting to see the differential between the Bollinger Band and the VWAP just on the charts here. So you can see that that we've come right up towards the top end of the Bollinger Band, pushed outside of it, found ourselves being rejected from pushing outside and back down towards the bottom band. The lower end of that doji's come all the way down towards the median line of the Bollinger Band, tested it, and then risen back up again, showing us a slightly different picture, of course, as to how these things work than the VWAP. And you can see then, of course, as well, that is, while they look like they look to the casual observer like they've got similarities, that we've explained quite clearly that there's extreme differences. So we can leave that on the chart for a wee while as we explore that. and then it's 41 minutes past. Brilliant, excellent stuff. Really, in the minute, we'll let AMC kind of get to the end of that indecision phase that it's at, and I'll catch up with the chats that I missed earlier on. And I must say, thank you so much for your patience if you've been waiting for me to get back around to a super chat, and I get to celebrate as well, because I missed. Oh, you're kidding me! Oh, it was a sticker, a flying sticker. Didn't miss anything then. Brilliant, flying sticker. We're good to go. Let me just check my my other jobby that I didn't miss out on any donatos or anything. Is it gonna load up for me? I just have to give it a second. It's always a bit slow. Yeah, so good, right? Says somebody. That's cool. That's quality. Sup, Freaky? Yeah. Wonder what that's. Wonder is there somebody in there called Freaky? Ah, that's cool. Backyard music feedback. Is there a sausage NFT? There should be. There should be. Bad Mama Jama. This is who I am. Was made 3 years ago. Just wanted to show you. Money isn't anything to me compared to a smile. Bad Mama Jama. You are, you're great. You're great, man, and I really appreciate it. I was watching that video that you sent me, and it's amazing that's just how you've always been, and you're such a great guy. And it was interesting. I was watching it. And you've got that one. So that was made 3 years ago. I wonder how the guy at the start of it's getting on nowadays. He described himself as being savage. He has no tear ducts. I don't. I'm willing to tell you, straight up. Like, it's emotional stuff sometimes, and I really do appreciate it, man. You're an absolute legend. Really are. That's incredible. By the way, for people who don't realize, probably didn't show up on screen properly or whatever. Bad Mama Jama donated $50 there now, and it's and that's really, 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 really appreciated because he's such a freaking yes, right? I was talking about this at the start of the show. Don't know if you saw it, Bad Mama Jama. I realized kind of between yesterday and today, it's like I'm processing these emotions. What the emotion is joy, and at the same time, it's making me go like crumple down. I can't understand why, and really, it's because I just haven't experienced much joy for a long time. So it's like really it's a raw thing, whereas if you started perhaps going crazy at me or something like that, maybe I'd be able to I'd cope with that like no problem, whereas everybody else would be crying, or something like that. So that sort of a thing, it's about your sort of emotional fitness, I guess, and I just don't have very much when it comes to the old positive happy joy one. So thanks. Massively appreciate. Right, cool. I hope that doesn't sound depressing to anybody. It's just me being honest. Yeah, great. Okay, so at the minute, this 50-minute candle, yeah, it's retraced back down the way. And it looks like it's going to close down on the Bollinger Band. The VWAP itself remains useless as is. By the way, massively appreciated. Forest Gang. Forest Gang. I don't know how you want to say that, but thanks so much. Appreciated. Bam Mama Jama got us all crying yesterday, says Irem. Yeah, exactly, right? Exactly. Deep breaths, Rocky. Soak it in. Yeah, I was trying that. At times, deep breaths. Well, maybe not deep enough. It's wonderful, right? Because I don't want to miss these. These moments. I want to have time to enjoy them instead of having my hypothalamus jump in and say that was too much. We're just gonna cut that off because it was too much, which is kind of what happens, to be honest, some of the times. This is what happens. My hypothalamus is like, no, that was an emotional experience which is too difficult for you to process, so I'm just not even going to remember it. And of course, it's a coping mechanism, but normally human brains do that for negative ones. Of course, I want to be able to remember and have this and get the happiness that comes from that, and to have it. So anyway, Bam Jama, you're a saint. Katie Babes just donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Just another donation to say thanks for giving us this incredible community. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're the community. You're the community. You plural. Vosotros. Vus. All right. You're the community, and I didn't. I'm the lucky one, right? So right back at you. Right, yeah, I'm looking over here at the GME charts and I'm seeing I'm asking this question. I want to see this tracing towards topside. That's what I want to see. It would be wonderful to see that, and that's hopefully what we're going to see. The VWAP remains useless again, still on the on this chart here. Of course, I could drop down to a smaller time frame and get it so it's like easier to see what's going on, but it remains relatively useless because where is it? All within the previous candle. All of it is within the range of that candle entirely. It expands from outside at the top to outside at the bottom for its open and its close. Therefore, it is useless, right? As it stands. Loving seeing the hearts in there, by the way. Yeah, right. So it's amazing. It's like, it's hard to get around to that. Batman Jam, it's hard to get around to that mentality, man, in terms of deserve it. I got messages afterwards from someone, I suppose I'll not name them, direct to my telephone. So you know who you are that I'm talking to you. And they're saying, I just wish you had more confidence, mate. I just wish you had more confidence. That got me. Right. Cool. Yeah, man, is there any price time to buy some GME at today? Yeah, well, cool, excellent. That would be good. Currently, just on the most, let's bring up the bigger chart, right? We can talk about this in a second. Bring up the bigger chart. By the way, like I say, by the way, this is me having a really positive conversation, finding it hard to process emotions I'm not used to, which are happiness. Okay. Right. So yeah, let's bring up the big chart. Look at it on that one. I don't mean that. There's a degree of shame about it. But it's not a negative thing at all. I'm really happy right now. Which my brain is like, what the fuck's going on? So bizarre. Yeah. So yeah, brilliant. Right. So is there a good price to buy? Well, yeah. I mean, essentially, what we're looking for is right now for the bullish thesis of the day to be correct, and that right now is the best time to buy at. So when you say is there a good time to buy at on the day, I'm not a financial advisor, and this financial advice, of course, as you know. I'm going to read them in just a second. Give myself a second to just have a breathe for like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds recommends. So yeah, what you need to see in a sense is something that looks negative. Now in the 4-hour time frame, if you're looking at this and you're saying that something looks negative, well, it's certainly not the last few 4-hour candles. It's the thing would be if we can see the 18 period exponential moving average operate as proper resistance for us, then you might get a better price to buy at, and that could come anywhere between $200 and $2 and where we are now. I'm seeing the hearts in there, and it's making me really, 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 really proud. Thank you, by the way, people. It's really amazing. You can keep doing that as much as you like. I see it, by the way. It's right here in my eye. So what we're looking for is if this remains negative, right? So to answer your question, it's like, well, should we see the prices hit $215 and then be rejected from that and go back down lower than $213, then or $212 actually, I should say? Then what we'll do is we'll quite likely see the prices go somewhere between $202 and there, right? Which would give you a better price and be that discount that you're looking for on the day. However, it looks bullish at the minute, and the question is really a case of, well, can we get up past that point? And therefore, if we went past that point and didn't get rejected from it, what are you saying afterwards? Well, that today, right now, was the right time for it. When it comes to technical analysis, I'm not one of those guys that goes around saying that it works for predicting the future. I'm one of those other guys that goes around saying the opposite of that it doesn't work for predicting the future. That people who tell you that are liars, etc., that sort of thing. Although quite often, as a result of doing what we do, we in effect predict the future. I'll, characterize that as it is. Instead, you're looking at risk, and the risk is a dynamic. It's always a dynamic, and you can't, and it's not a binary thing that you just say. If you want to understand what's actually happening, but for me to translate, like looking at that now, a little bit red or whatever on this candle, let's just dive down to a way that I can kind of kind of like say it in that other way. For instance, right? So Yeah. Oh, we've just gone down below the 50-period moving average here in the 1 hour time frame. If the price is dropping down past 212. Where were we just before? In fact, did we hit 215 at all? 240. We hit 215. Oh right, yeah. So essentially, what I was talking about before was if we go at 215 and drop down the way. So this is obviously not including today's. This is including yesterday's trading to get that same sort of argument. But it's the same thing. I mean, it's basic. Well, it's not basic. It is the same thing. Then closures, below this price point could see you getting a discount on this one that comes in somewhere between 200. Yeah, but I'm not. I'm bullish on this at the minute. It's bullshit. So answering those sorts of questions are bullshit. Really for me, because while I can talk about these zones of risk and where the prices could go to, it doesn't change the fact that I remain bullish on this one, as it is right now. So instead, what I wanted to see is for over the next wee while for this area of 212 to be kind of retaken again, 215 to be broken, and then for us to go towards the top side. And that's what I want to see happen first. If you were just simply because you're looking to hodl it, is what makes it complicated. If you were trading this, therefore, you would look at this and say, that's the risk that you're able to take on. This is your reward, and the difference between those two is clearly going to be a high. Whoa. A high. So I didn't realize that when you put the green on top of the thingy, it actually does that. Of course it would. Stupid me. With the opacity, right? So what you'd be looking at there would be, along those sorts of lines, and anywhere within this zone would be how I would think about things and how I conceptualize stuff, because the way that it works for me when I'm looking at trading, it so often boils back down to a 5-to-1. Like long-time subscribers of the channel will know it. So like that's how you're looking at on that one, which means that 4 times out of 5 saying it, I could be wrong for saying it, but it's the right answer. Okay. So thanks for that question. Right, I missed a couple of super chats. Let's just see what they are. Jay Stonks donated $5 with a heart on there, just to be nice. Thanks so much, Jay Stonks 25. Massive, wow, yeah, fuck yeah, thanks so much. Let's keep the positivity train rolling. I'm rolling on a positivity train. In fact, actually, I got pig iron.
I got all pig iron.
Yeah. Good morning from the US, Rocky and everyone, says Brady Pearl. Thanks for such an uplifting moment yesterday. Good luck all, and may we all gather in person. Moas Moon. You know what, Brady, man? You say that, but that's thanks so much. It's the don't let it go unappreciated. You do things in life. You do things in life at times, right, where you don't know. You just don't know. You just don't know. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. You think to yourself that you're sat there in a caravan or whatever, a trailer as you call them in the States, playing on your acoustic guitar to a couple of people in a wee room, and that's really the long and the short of it, and you're just doing you. Then, a chunk of time goes by and it impacts on somebody else in a positive way. Wow, no idea at the time. Amazing, right? Amazing. So that's kind of like you. And it's the same with Reynaldo Moreno. You can go on Reynaldo Moreno's YouTube channel, this guy who's had a YouTube channel since 2013 or something, to which I was the lucky sort of 29th subscriber or some shit. I don't know what it is. Like ridiculous though. And he's just out there doing his thing, just doing his thing. Saying to himself, whoa, well, if I just keep being me, then one day, nice one, Griffin with the Irish hearts, one day, then it's going to work out. Just keep on being me. Just keep on being me. And the faith isn't necessarily getting rewarded. And then you come in here and you say, thanks for an uplifting moment yesterday. Good luck all. And really, the thanks for it, to be honest, should be with you, because you're the one doing all that, and flying that flag, so good on you. Much love to you and your bro. Oh, what's that? What just happened over here? Hold on a second. Oh, no, nothing. Well, we're down here, and so okay, so we have this kind of idea. I mean, this is what we're looking for. I'm bullish on it, but will it push down past those areas? I don't know. I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, just right on this, like this sort of trade idea is ridiculous. But there you have it. Anyway, bring up the chat again here. What was it saying? Anyway, no, but backtrack a second. Brady, it's you and everybody else out there in the world that and I guess me too, right? That dedicates themselves towards doing something without any real knowledge in advance, no expectation of reward, just doing it anyway, being true to themselves. Chef kiss. Adamo, much love to you and your bro for all you guys do for the cause. This ape appreciates it. This ape appreciates you. Cheers, Adam. Thanks very much. Really appreciate it. And then somebody as well subscribed. Excellent. Nice one. So what we hope to see right now essentially is a bounce from this exact area. Because then, woo, that would look cool. Or else, well, who knows, right? So let's just let's bring it up on the 5-minute time frame instead, so that it can be kind of understood in terms of like that question that got asked. So I was trying to answer it in the very here and now. Of course, there is all day. There's all day, buddy. There's always time for TA. This type of thing just lets you see it happen in front of your face. So but there's always time for TA, and you can do it whenever you like. It's like it's all good. And in fact, really, when you're looking at things, you should be thinking about it from a slightly broader perspective than necessarily today. But that's what it feels like. It always feels like that. It's only really a reality that you kind of missed any boats when the boat is actually gone. Right now, we're in that area, and what's characterizing this area is a really, 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 really distinct lack of trend. Like, that's what's characterizing this area. So when I look towards the highs and lows and I'm like, hey, we need to get past these areas, and that's because it would be moving away from a lack of trend towards a trend, which you can then buy into with a degree more confidence. So it's kind of up to you. Apple Blossom, give me a hug. Thank you so much, Apple Blossom. I really appreciate it. Sorry, shouldn't blow my nose right into the microphone there. Could have thought about that one. Jiro says, Feck, shame, man, and Feck, YT. Yeah, I meant to tell you, great video with Jackson Hunter the other night. Was awesome to see you having a more of a rewarding viewership. Yeah, man. I actually don't really feel any shame with all of that. Instead I feel, well, it's not shame, is it? It's more like I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like it's just another thing which is going to stop the channel from growing, possibly. That's all it is. But I don't whatever. I can't stop being me, right? So there's no point in hamstring myself by feeling shame at the same time. Sunday I will learn TA. someday you'll learn TA. Yeah. Oh, I fucked it. So this looks silly to me because even though I threw that on fairly arbitrarily, when it bounces immediately back up there and comes back into that zone because my red coloring there doesn't include that little low. Oh no. Now there's shame. There's shame. Right? There's shame right there. Yeah, it should probably be more like that, to be honest with you, instead. Anyway, obviously looking at this thing, but whatever. Whatever. No worries, not financial advice. Yeah, not financial advice. Love the hearts, by the way, people, and the rockets. Reynaldo Moreno. Oh, great to see you, by the way, Reynaldo. Was meaning to ask you, see when you do your live streams, there's some, I've been asked to ask you if, and if you're not able to answer right now because you're busy, etc., and you're not listening right this second, that's okay. Don't worry about it. But people want to be able to play your live stream as you're doing it live in the Discord with in the channels that I've got set up there, the voice channels that play that can broadcast music to the Discord. And what they do is they go and they look at this wee bot goes and plays the YouTube video and feeds the audio through to the Discord, so people can sit in there and listen. Now the thing about it is that would potentially hamper your stats. Right? It would hamper your stats, but at the same time, it might be kind of cool for you to feel like, because maybe people wouldn't tune in to see you on YouTube who maybe they otherwise would. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. But then at the same time, it's also kind of cool because you'd be performing there knowing that there's like various places in the world that are kind of rebroadcasting your stuff, and that you're touching potentially more people with it. I don't know. It's something that I was asked to ask you, and here we are. So I thought I'd ask you. I thought I'd just wait and ask you live on camera, because mostly what I want to do really is to direct however many people that are here. How many are there? 280, 286. If you don't know who I'm talking about right now, then boo to you. You should. All right, you should. You should know who that guy is. Reynaldo Moreno, he's called. Okay, you should know who that is. If you don't, then, and you're interested in anything that we're talking about now here, then my goodness, you've been missing out. Rocky Outcrop. If there are 0 original shares available for GME and I buy 1 share, are the MM required to short that share in the name of liquidity? Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what's got us partly into this mess in the first place. My initial feeling on that is just to say yes, right? It's just to say yes, because market makers have been given the a responsibility alongside the power. Okay, so what we talk about so often is this power aspect, but of course they do serve a function, as you so correctly called it, liquidity. So yes, however, no, because market makers are not obligated to actually follow through on that responsibility all of the time. So, for example, when the markets have moved more than a certain percent in the day, so often market makers will stop making markets for a period of time until it will stop making it depends on so many, and I can't speak for all of them, and I wouldn't. But there's certain conditions and times which the market makers just don't do it. So therefore, if you try and buy a share, and there isn't anybody selling it, then the price that you'll be quoted will perhaps be more than the amount that you have in your account, and therefore you just won't be able to buy one. Because it might just and that. So the thing about it is that I just don't know, because I've not ever been looking at a market at the time which has got literally no sells on it. Although I've seen markets multiple times, no asks on it. I've seen markets multiple times have asks which are like well high, a huge spread on the market, a huge one. For instance, in the Ethereum, in the crypto crash recently that happened when Ethereum dropped down, it had a $800 spread on it. $800 when it was at its low, $800 spread on Ethereum, which is worth $2,000. So where it was at like $2,000 ish, and like the bid was 1,200 and the ask was 2,000. That sort of thing, it might even be more at certain times. It was just that I was talking about it then, and I can remember saying, "Oh my God, it's 800 right now." I can't remember. I think it went up and down in that. So can we expect that? I don't know, because because everybody can be a market maker. It's just that to be a market maker, in terms of really getting the dispensation to make markets on behalf of the market itself or the company itself, etc. Then yeah, you get that. But you to be able to go on and actually create synthetics in order to provide and make that market, whereas retail traders often make markets themselves as well. So there probably will be an available share. It's a scenario where the specific scenario you ask there is like if there's like literally 0 shares available, is so unusual. And then yes is the simple answer. The too long didn't read is yes, because that's kind of their obligation. So it is providing liquidity, just creation of shares capital out of thin air depending on need. It's fully up to their discretion if they can let the price ratio ride or not. Well, see, the thing about it is as well is that most market makers have got like an account, a book that they've got that they know that they've got an amount of, etc. Except it's kind of like when you've got a whole load of stuff in your pocket and you're just reaching in and grab. Actually, what it's more like is that the way it's supposed to kind of work is that it's kind of like when you've got your checking account and your credit account or whatever, and market makers buy and sell everything on their credit cards, everything, and then they're supposed to pay it off, sort of thing, but it's there for that liquidity in that sort of a sense, you know. So yes, preventing liquidity isn't this creation of shares capital. It's the promise of shares and capital. So when market makers have been given in terms of that right is the sort of he's good for it, bro, you know, sort of mentality. Like, he's good for it, or whatever. So then well, see the thing about it is, as well, is that the shares which are synthetic are and that are not at the time what although that transaction might have existed, well, in the back end, the market maker had no shares to sell you, and then they made in a synthetic share, and they did that. And while you essentially forced that to happen by buying that share at that time, and you know, a market buy, and the market maker then gave you that synthetic share, and that's what you think happened. That's not what actually happens, right? It's not what happens when anybody buys a share, okay, at all in the world. Just so you know, that the scenario that you laid out there is what everybody thinks happens. It's not what happens at all. Nobody buys real shares, okay? No one at all in any scenario on the through your broker do you actually buy on them in American markets the actual share at all, okay? So maybe that helps you understand. Now, maybe for some people they'll be thinking, oh, right. And for other people, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? For that second group, the all of it's like done on kind of like an entry system where a book, a ledger, or an accounting practice. All of it's sorted out by the DTCC. All of yesterday's transactions are sorted out today, sort of thing, right? They go on into the DTCC. They try and get it. So you did that transaction, and then one synthetic share was created in that moment, right? Whereas every other transaction, there was a parity between the amount of shares in demand and the amount that actually existed. But then you did that one transaction, and for that moment in time, a share which didn't exist was then assigned to the book, not to you. And you were assigned to the book because your counterparty in this trade is the DTCC. The market maker is not your counterparty. So while you're buying it from them, and the market maker has the right, because he's good for it, bro, to be able to create a synthetic share, that isn't happening anyway, because all shares traded electronically are synthetic in that nature, every single one of them. So the guy that was just before you that bought the real share, and then you were next in the chain and you bought a share and it wasn't real, there's actually, the process is 100% the same between both of you. And then you get put into this queue at the back end on the DTCC to be given your shares. And maybe 10,000 people earlier than you all get assigned fake shares, and maybe then you get a real share, and 10,000 people after you get assigned fake shares for the next ones, even if in the sort of how many shares were available schema at that point, there was one more. And okay, so that's what goes on there with that one. Anyway, but yes, but the too long didn't read is yes. What? Haha, says Mike. Yeah, okay, so that's the way it works, right? Isn't that ridiculous? Apparently you can claim them apparently you can claim them somehow by paying a fee. Wonder what that's talking about. Let's see, Jay Stonks up the way. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Jay Stonks? Case guy, I really need more rock and the chipmunks. That was fantastic and wonderful start to the day. That's good. Okay, Crop, that's awesome. Affect the stats. Keep spreading my music wherever. That's my goal. Love you for it. Well, there we have it. That's the answer. Brilliant. I'll do that. But I'll also, but that was see, because my other hope was that somebody would maybe be in the radio at one point and think, what is this? And we'd be saying, it's Reynaldo. How the hell do you not know Reynaldo? How do you not know? How do the 299 people watching right now, if any of you out there don't know who it is, how do you not know? In fact, screw this. Why am I saying that when I could be playing it? Now, I'll play the one, this is a guy which makes music which is good no matter what it is that you're looking to listen to. I just said Marina. There you go. Is there actually Marinas out there? No, whoops, sorry. Spelled that wrong there. I guess I had it in my head. OJ Marina. Anyway, so 450. Excellent, excellent. What I like to see. So everybody needs to know this song, Diamond Hands. Everybody needs to know that song, Diamond Hands. But also like could just put on some of this instead. Just whatever is random. And I'm headed on my way. So you get to see what he's like. I wanna see how it feels to fly. Right, okay, so what we have here is a guy who is a really lovely man and my brother from another mother. And a good musician, and he's good. It's good, right? So this is what we're talking about in terms of his live streams, and you should go check him out. All right, there's his link in there as well, right? So if you haven't done it already, please do. GME defending 212 like a boss. AMC defending 5650 like a boss. In fact, is that defending 5550 like a boss? I can think it's time that I get rid of the VWAP. Sideways, above the average, good. Slightly up, above the average, good. We did come all the way down to test this middle lane, got a bounce after all. So that's kind of good. Now at this stage, I want to see this coming up here and going up and can do the whole thing all over again, right? I'm not so desperate for it to get in and start pushing up the way, but I want it to come up and try 215. Can try it all over again. Where's our chart here? This thing. Oh, we've moved up in there. You see what I mean? I didn't throw that. Look. I wasn't trying to show off or anything like that, but I feel almost like I need to put out some sort of disclaimer. In that I didn't, get this called right on the penny at the time. Like, oh my God, I don't need to do that. I don't need to give that disclaimer out there. I was trying to show you that the risk to reward that we're talking about that trade was like a 5-to-1 anyway, sort of idea. I was just kind of chatting. Right. You want a bit more Moreno? Okay, cool. 10%. Right. Okay. So right. Does that make sense? Okay. Like I also think so too. I think so too. It'd be great. Except these market makers being able to create these synthetic shares to be able to do they provide liquidity makes the markets freer in a sense because it creates less volatility based purely on temporary supply issues, and it creates a more measurable supply and demand curve, which creates more stability in prices, and therefore stability creates confidence, and confidence in markets creates growth, and that's what they want. That's why they do it that way. So that to do it through blockchain alone would be problematic. How, in a sense, given the mentality that they have running into it, like how do we achieve what we want to achieve here on this sense? And a lot of the way that we'd probably do it is by running it in blockchain on the back end at the DTCC and having the shares themselves that are traded on the exchanges being representative of the shares as opposed to being the shares themselves. So when you go on a crypto exchange at the minute, sorry, I just trying to stand a wee tad, or oops, because it's probably gone through my own mic. Right. Yeah. So the way that if you go on a cryptocurrency exchange at the minute, so often what they do is they have a float Not the whatever. They've got an amount. Forget I said the word float there. They've got an amount of shares. And forget I said shares there. They've got an amount of cryptocurrency that. I forget I said currency there. They've got an amount of tokens on the blockchain. Sorry, get my language correct. Which they can give to people who request them. And the rest are stored in cold storage. Why? Because it's a security concern. You don't want to have it so that necessarily they're all on the exchange. Instead, what people are trading are representations of those things. And then if they want to withdraw, then there's enough money there in the coffers of the exchange to give them what they need. Or the exchange doesn't process withdrawals until certain points in the day, at which time, so you try to withdraw and you don't get to withdraw until 12 hours or 24 hours later because it's held in cold storage. And that's standard at the minute in blockchain. So when people say we want to get blockchain on the shares, I'm 100% agree with them. It's just that the same people saying that are like, this is going to solve a lot of these problems. And it will, except it won't solve quite as many problems as people think it will, because it's going to be human beings that do it, and the systems that they come up with in order to do it are probably going to be somewhat similar to the systems that are already in place on a lot of exchanges out there. The ideals that you're talking about are to do with decentralization and the DeFi movement from within blockchain, which is really incredibly new, because blockchain and cryptocurrency as a concept was known from 2010, whereas DeFi, etc., has only become kind of known from 2020. And what it does is this, but it's the same concept really. Essentially, it's decentralization, which is one of the things that Picnic is going to be doing. For example, the cryptocurrency that I'm coming up with is that it enables options trading to be done with fully funded and therefore not margin, and then laterally, or after it's been developed a bit more, add margin to it, which is obviously still fully funded in a decentralized way, so that you can get from various individuals in order to open up your trades, etc. And it all be completely and absolutely recorded right down to the penny, and no need for problems in that sense. So it's possible. It's one of the things that I aspire to create, but the way to do it is through decentralization. And for the DTC to adopt blockchain in order to do it is just going to centralize out the cold storage of the shares, and it is a one-for-one same problem as what we currently have. The chances of them also doing it on a public blockchain and that sort of thing. So it's a toughie. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. Okay. Right. Also, it kind of disenfranchises brokerages to a slight extent, so there'd be a lot of resistance and lobbying against it. Rocky, have you heard of Hedara coin, HBAR? Can you look at the chart, please? Yeah, I can look at the chart. HBAR is, I haven't put a name to it, but I've seen the HBAR chart before.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
This one, Hedara, yes. It's one of the names I'd forgotten. Hedara. HBAR. Hello, HBAR. I don't know anything about it, mind you. And like sometimes I know quite a lot about some of them or whatever. I don't know anything about this one.
What's up, Merrick? What's up, Kim?
Yeah. All right, this is obviously an important pivot. I was just kind of looking between. First thing I did there, thanks for asking for this, was I looked between the low that we had here and the low that we had here with an eye to, up to the high, the same high, with an eye to where we'll see the 236 floating around at, and whether or not this could potentially be a good buy price here at this 50 simple with respect to the 50 simple moving average here, 5-minute time frame, it's nothing special, and the previous high, again, 5-minute time frame, it's nothing special, but it's just wondering, where we are right now with regards to this one. This could be a buy right here to try and get an edge off the back of that confluence between factor 1 of confluence, our previous high, factor 2 of confluence, our 50 simple moving average, and factor 3 of confluence, the 236 coming in at that point there in terms of the overall movement up the way. So that's not a bad thing right now. In terms of the broader term structure then, how are we looking at this one? Just coming up above the 200 simple as well. Whoops. On the 4-hour time frame, so that's decent to see. Extremely high chance of rejection here, as we're actually no, we came up and we have been rejected already. So yeah, extremely high chance of rejection happened. But we could be looking up towards that 20 cents region and saying, well, crack above 20 cents, well, 20 and a half cents, or no, 20 and a half cents would be starting to look good. Is strong up to there, or is it? No, it's divergent, and it's divergent. Yeah. Okay, so time for a higher low? I'd say so. Where are we likely to get one? This is one of the good. This is one of the good ones. This is one of the ones that I enjoy listening to Reynaldo singing, because I think he's done this one for quite a while. Yeah, cool. So higher low so far. Well, that's not actually revealing at all. Yeah, so probably worth being patient on this one, unless you're getting momentum carrying you up through it. It's like unlikely, but if like a huge shit ton of volume comes in, then maybe that actually does happen. Looking at this instead is saying that really overall, you know, this is a downward trend. We've been rejected from the 200 simple here, here, and here so far. This is the first time that as we've tried to challenge the 200 simple that we've even wicked above it on the 4-hour time frame. So, well, since back there on the 21st of May, this is the first time. And was it July now? Aye, so we didn't actually push above the 200 simple at all during June. Last time we did it was May. Now we've tried a little bit. I'm looking for a higher low at this point, and to then actually kind of go on. This is from the 4-hour time frame. 24-hour time frame, you can see as well that we've come in here and put in a low, a significant low, and a potential for a lower high so far. So we're in the phase of, are we going for a high which is higher than that, and then a higher low? I'd say no, because this is the downward slope here, and that's a lower high as opposed to, you know, like that. We talked about this in the high and low video. So instead I'm saying, well, we could easily see a higher low come in before we actually try and challenge that high, putting us in to take out this region with a higher high at the time, and therefore be turning around the markets. In terms of the downward side sloping, yeah, bullish divergence in the MACD, not amazing on the RSI, or even, yeah, it's just that tiny little touch of it at the very end there, but all up the way there on the MACD right to the end before turning around at the 200 simple moving average on the 24-hour time frame. Yeah, so longer term, staying above 18, very important, you know, really, but staying above 18, and that over the next couple of days it's just going to be more and more and more, and we need pushing 20 cents constantly over the next wee while, or this starts to look bad. And from a broader perspective, this is actually this is going to be a pivot point here. Missed that slightly. Yeah, but it's just, you can see it's clearly a pivot point as well in the market, where you'd be looking at can we I missed it again, doesn't matter though. Yeah, 18 exactly. So if we do take that out, you know, because we could go down to 4 cents, right? That could happen. The next knot on the charts here, we've already wicked down as far as, but really, you know, you could be looking down to 10 cents, which is 50% off from where we are, just to go to the next the next Fibonacci level. So extremely critical price zone on this one, and saying it needs to maintain 18 cents, etc., in terms of the 24-hour time frame and over the course of a while means something, and 20 cents taking it out doesn't mean as much. Okay, it's not until you're taking out 22 cents that you're getting something that means something a bit more. Take out 22 cents and we could be flying all the way up towards 40. This 10% that we're in at the minute, and at around about 20, is a pivot on this one. Don't FOMO. Be prudent. Manage risk accordingly. Oh, cool. So we did a bit of the tracing up, came in, put in a higher high, hit off 216. That's where that box is up above. I drew it in, so I'm going to assume it means something. And then, and now we're back at the Bollinger Band again. Nice. Maintaining price action above the median line of the Bollinger Band on AMC as well. Nice. Sideways, by the way, in AMC though. Sideways so far. Is the day going to be a sideways day? Hard to know. That's the 3-minute time frame. Put it on a better time frame. What's this one? 15. Yeah, 15 here. Aye, maintaining the upper edge of this one. So again, still sideways day, but looking for the potential for upward price action here as a result of all this. Tell Warlock to stop watching porn. Warlock, buddy, stop watching porn. I don't know what that's in relation to at all. Ashley says, and you're on fire today, Rocky Outcrop. Great, clear explanations. Wow, that's fantastic. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. I think I saw Tradespawn kicking around earlier on the chat. Is that right? I did indeed. How you doing, brother? Still hear Reynaldo singing, but it's quiet. Ah, it's too quiet. Okay. That's a bit louder. That might be too loud. Competing with me now. Don't know. Don't know. So T plus 12 hours could work. Yeah, T plus 12 hours could work. So that's the thing. It should be T plus 0, but the people who are going to be likely to implement it are not going to want to work around all of the things that they've convinced themselves are necessary. They're not necessary. This whole liquidity thing isn't necessarily necessary. It's just in that. It's not necessarily necessary. But there's other conflictions there. Like, you've got people who, like there's things like fractional shares being a relatively recent thing, and stuff like that. So there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. T plus 12 could work. T plus 0 could work. T plus 0, T plus 12. Wait a minute. T plus 12 hours. Did you say hours or yeah, hours? Well, T plus 12 hours is T plus 0, right? Because under 24 is less than 1, therefore it's 0 in terms of how these things would work. So it would be 12 plus 0. Yeah, it could work. Totally could work. It's just a question of how much slack are they going to want to give themselves, and it's the DTCC and the likes. You know, the best that you could hope for would be Gary Gensler, and that guy I'm not disappointed or upset with him, but I'm hardly like massively impressed with him. I don't think he's amazing or anything like people do. It's cool, but whatever. You're on fire today. Thank you so much. Vanessa, that was a great call. I wasn't selling, but very good to see what one can expect after having learned what to look for. That's cool. I wonder what you're talking about there. If that was to me, then thanks very much. Like, why would he fuck with all of us if he wasn't good news in the future? It would be ultra cruel to play with our money and emotions, and RC doesn't seem like a cruel person. That's really nice. I do agree with that, by the way. He doesn't seem like a cruel person. I don't necessarily think that I'm not like, we don't need to put I agree. I was going to say we don't need to put faith in him, but we kind of do. I've got a degree in faith in him. I don't know. I agree with you there on that one. I do agree with you there on that one. It's just this, like, I don't like thinking along those lines because nice guys finish last and all that. Are you familiar with Abra as a crypto exchange? Watched an interview with Bill Barhide talking about it, and it sounded interesting. No, I'm not familiar with it. Free. It's in California. Whatever. No, I've not heard of them. The guy Bill Barhide was probably being paid to talk about them. He was probably being paid to talk about them.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Don't think we'll get an answer to that, but at least I'll try it, right? Okay, anyway, Mining Boom said something and I scrolled and it disappeared. What are you saying there, buddy? GME doing that 215 test Rocky was talking about. Woo! Excellent, nice one. Hey, Rocky, have you heard about GMR Finance? If so, if this has got legs to run or just another shitcoin. Don't know about that one either, sorry, man. It's back now, but it has been, but so yeah, but I mean, you can, I suppose it's probably got a ticker on it. 212.88, right? So we did that test at 215, pushed back down, 212.88, defending the 212 area. You know, this is kind of this is what I was talking about earlier on. It's doing that same thing again now. Brilliant. What did you say, GMR?
This is more appropriate. I feel the love y'all doing, so we're gonna make it happen. All right.
Well, no, sorry, mate. Rocky Girl, who put your balls in a vice? I don't know, man. Who put my balls in a vice? I wonder. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Fire heart, fire heart, fire heart. Wow, nice one. Don't forget to like the page if you want a banana sticker. Says Apple Blossom. Thank you, Apple Blossom. Shane's down there. Jesus, Reynaldo's music and Rocky's voice works so well. That's because we're brothers from other mothers. I got to meet my other mother last night in the chit chat on the stream, which was kind of cool. L. Baker Matthews, I come on, I hit the like button, and then put Rocky on my big screen. I'm old and I can't see the charts on my phone. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. By the way, if you're using your TV and you've got a smart TV, you can hit the up arrow. It brings up the timeline, and then there's a couple of little wee options, and there's a wee thumb in there, and you can not on all of them, but sometimes it's not. You can hit like on the big screen. Not everybody knows that. This is cool. Terra sounds like synthetics. Terra is it's Luna. Luna's pretty good. It's all right. People talking about that in there. It's all right. Bing Bong with you before Moas. Bing Bongs will be with you before Moas. Cheers. Good. Apple Blossom. Got a flashlight I can borrow? Says Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I'm lying. The limited edition one. I don't know why I said Bing Bong, said Apple Blossom. Oh, wait. Wait, what happened? Wait a minute. Scrolling up here. Eddie, Bing Bong. Oh, Bing Bong. You're just chatting. Wait, is it nice? When will I be getting my t-shirt? Oh, right. Right. You're chatting about that. I see. Did you actually get the limited edition one? Because that'd be cool. I wonder. I can see it on Coin Market Cap, not on TradingView. Are you in the US? If so, probably sooner than me. I'm getting mine between July 4th and July 16th. Right. That kind of sucks that it takes so long for them to send it out. July 4th and July 16th. It's like a pretty wide window on that one as well. That's a pretty wide window. That won't happen until I get... Alright, okay, you're just chatting. Yeah, Jimmy's still blocked off Twitter. I don't know why I bothered tweeting at them. I shouldn't have bothered. I don't want to talk to them at all. They'll ask me to do it and I'll just refuse anyway. I get emails like that 10 times a day in my email address. Literally, I'm not going to show you my emails because it'd be I'm doxing myself sort of thing. I get so many of those emails and mostly I just ignore them. I only just wanted to say it for a laugh. Otherwise, you'd see me talking about stuff all the time. Still in the middle of setting up a potential sponsorship deal with a brokerage though at the minute, which is quite cool. I own shares in only 3 companies, and I'd love to see your thoughts on Microvision, please. Says NW Treasure. No problem. I had to run errands. Did I miss POW? Says Queen B. No, you didn't. Not done it yet. Take a look at it in a second. David P. Nifty. There you go. You've got it. Apple Blossom. Eddie B. You can't give yourself psychological validation. You can't give yourself psychological validation. Not regular thumb. A wee thumb. Yeah, I guess you're probably right with that. I try to, but you can't. We're retracing pretty hard on POW. Love the song. So do I. First one was asked for there was by NW Treasure, and it is of course MVIS, and that is Microvision Incorporated. They're the guys that make replacement digital eyeballs using tiny webcams for blind mice. Yeah, you know the song about the blind mice, 3 blind mice, all the rest of it. Microvision is on a mission to make it so there are no more blind mice. It's pretty awesome, pretty neat company. So, how are we doing here with Microvision? Okay, well, hide that as well. What price is that? $17. Shit, yeah. Wait, it's where was it above $20? When was that? It's only been recently, hasn't it? Yeah, because this is long into its all-time highs. Right? No, it's not. Okay, finally I got it. Gosh, should have just got the weekly chart to begin with. Yeah, so we're here. That's what I wanted to know. In that general zone. 618 would have been about here. and this isn't about this, the 886 Fibonacci thing.
Yeah.
I'll just draw it on so that people watch along and get an idea about where we are roughly. See, in about the 886, and so we're doing really well. So far, broader term time frame, impulse up here, good. Impulse up here, good.
Smiles are enough, man.
This next phase, not good. Bearish divergent on
So
that.
this is
Came down, probably Rick and Morty lipped on a smaller time frame, pushed up away again afterwards. So my main like obviously with all of these sorts of things at the minute, my main concern would be as to whether or not we're experiencing sort of distribution, etc. Seeing the prices pushing up here in this way, with that peak in the middle, which was bearishly divergent across those oscillators, is not the best. And here it is with those where that happened at. We're just about to see a cross here as well. So it's fairly critical that we stay above certain areas now at this stage. In terms of not wanting to come into, I mean, like actually on this rate, what we're looking at is the same sort of chat as I've had in the past. Oh, this was cool. This one as well last night. Enjoyed this one. So different. I don't know if you can hear it properly in the background, but this is Reynaldo Moreno telling Jack to hit the road. Yeah, so just in this, so you can see that we're at the midpoint between the highs and the lows, obviously, and this is a consolidating market at a top, which has had a high which was bearishly divergent compared to the previous one, and it's really at that point where you can say, look, okay, the movements down here, percentage-wise, in this region alone, are huge. The difference between a high up here and a low is a 60% move. 60%, you know, it's huge. So the idea of us moving between like past the median line and then down towards coming in for a higher low at this point is not worth the risk of you know, there's not worth not the risk, not worth hodling it through that period of time. From a trader's perspective, if that's where it kind of, you know, the potential range of this thing could push to, for example, likewise as well, you know, it could easily push up the way, which is what you would be indeed hodling for. And it's fairly significant, very significant price moves in terms of the percentages. So what I'm looking at really in terms of this one, just to keep it nice and simple, is that I don't want to see the prices dropping below 16 bucks on this one at all. Wall Street Bets chat about this one kind of got it wrong, sort of, in the sense that up here in the $20 region there was a lot of positivity about it. I remember that chat back then, and just frankly it was wrong, and a lot of people bought it there at that high as a result of that, and it still remains. You know, it still remains the case that we are not trending right now. We're going sideways. Okay, we're going sideways, and you can see that we're not putting in higher highs, etc. So that's what we're hoping to see something decent happen. So 4-hour time frame is all of these candles here. Oh, I guess that was all probably too zoomed out for y'all. Damn it. And what we want to see is for this downward trend to end. We filled in that gap but didn't take it out. You can see we filled in that gap so easily there without actually then continuing to go up the way afterwards, square up down here, get a double bottom at that zone potentially. So from a trader's perspective, there's an edge here for sure where you could ride this towards the top side. Absolutely is. But from a hodling forever perspective and having to sort of eat risk, it's not so great. We've just had a cross between the two shortest period moving averages I've got on here, which is on this particular chart, the 21 and the 55. It is a significant enough one. Just had that negative cross there now. Need to see the prices taking out $18 if I want to get in here and start feeling like I'm positive about it. I want to see them taking out $18 and then moving up 19, 20, etc. like that. Wait, no, that's a bit of a lie. Taking out. Might as well talk about the 50 simple. Need to see them taking that out. I would use this median line here, 4-hour time frame. I only just put the moving averages on, and you can see it coming up right bang onto that median line of the parallel channel. So like my initial reason for saying that was important is because it's like 50% of that range, yada yada yada, and you can see it's right on there to the pixel. So so flipping that over would obviously be a bit of a problem. So I don't want to see the prices dropping down below 16.39 and get on a on a sort of 4-hour early closing basis. And this is sideways price action. So that's where we are right now. I can't say buy into this trend because it looks strong, because there isn't one, and I can't say short this trend because it looks strong or or weak or whatever, because there isn't one. That's where we are with that. Rocky Outcrop, thanks for MVIS charting. They are in the middle of some dilution and seem to be holding up to the negative news and sell pressure decently. Great. So that's perfect in here as well. Taking a bit of, if they're doing some sort of dilution and getting a bit of money out of it, and that as well, not too bad. Rocky Outcrop, I'm going to go set up, maybe share a link to my video before you go off. I'll be live in 5 minutes at 3:45, so he's going live in a couple of minutes. Or give or take some technical difficulties. Brilliant, in fact, excellent. So that'll be a perfect time for me to wrap up as well. Perfect. So let me just see, what was the other one that somebody wanted me to take a look at? Where was the other one? You know how I feel. Oh, it was Pow anyway, because I see Queen Bean's name in there, and that reminded me. One of the biggest differences between Reynaldo Moreno and myself, other than the fact that he can sing and play music, is that he also can remember the words to songs instead of kind of just constantly just making them up or whatever. It's pretty nifty. First off, by the way, this chart, does it remind you of anything at all? Does this chart remind you of anything at all? And it probably will. You know how I feel. Butterflies are having fun. You know how I feel. I said, sleep in peace when there's I know you know what I mean. It's a whole world, it's a new world, it's a bold okay.
world
For me, I'm feeling good. So this up to this high, etc. That's the 24-hour chart over there on GameStop. And does this 4-hour chart have any sort of the 4-hour POW chart? Is it reminiscent of this in any way to anybody? Because if it is, then that's interesting. If it isn't, then cool. Okay, I'm just going to crack on. So, could we see something happen here which might result in a pullback towards 50% area? It could happen. And therefore, you'd most likely be looking down towards the 200 simple moving average here in the 4-hour time frame, which lines up more or less with $7. Current price is up there at $9.61. When would you start feeling like that? Well, if we took out $8.61, so if the prices moved down a further $1, took out the 21 period exponential moving average, then you could start to feel like that quite a bit. Indeed, you could. It's been doing really well though, and it's come up here and it's put in that high, that last high, on this time frame with a bit of divergence between this peak and the subsequent one. Yeah, and we will call that a local high as well, even though it's not amazing, but we will. So we've had a peak there, and then a little bit of divergence, flicking around there, back down to the 40 line, take out the 40 line here, push down the way, and yeah, we could easily be going down to $7. Find support where we have it now, and it gives us a chance to come in here and prove us all wrong about this divergence and push up the way even higher. Therefore, I'd need to see the prices going up towards 11 or so. Now, is the chances of us getting a drop down between 9.58 and 7 greater or lesser than the chances of us pushing from 9.50 up towards 11? Well, I would say that we're in a mode right now where we're more likely to go and do that and potentially put in a cup with handle at this point, especially after the sort of intense education of cup with handles that the market has had in the last wee while, in a sense, if you like. So I'd be looking out for that. Obviously, that's a little bit deep in terms of the initial retrace that you could be looking to, but it's more or less the same dealio. Check that super chat in just a second. Thanks so much. 50% there, 766, 727, or perhaps down to 692. So anywhere between sort of that 50-cent range of between $7.50 and $7 or so could be where the prices go to if they decide to break down any further. So taking out this line of DMI, kind of negative. In terms of the RSI, what you'd be looking to at the minute would be push down below 59, of course, then therefore a swing failure. If you're looking for that at the go at the minute on the 4-hour time frame, the gap wasn't a gap. It was a gap, but it got filled in straight away with that one in yesterday's price action. Now we're coming back down to re-challenge it again today. It's already been a rejection though, or sort of push back up the way of 6%, so it's not like measly. It's not measly. I'd be very concerned about this pushing down past in terms of the here and now in the meantime, and closing out a candle like on the 1-hour time frame below 9:30 means I feel like it's starting to push down the way. Okay, so or maybe we should say instead of 9:30 like 9:20. So if we push down below 9:20 and close there on an hourly closing basis, then it doesn't look good. We could be going on 8:50 is the first hopeful turnaround point. If it needs to extract a pound of flesh, then it's going to $7 or $7.50. Otherwise it looks all right. Just need to actually start to put in higher highs again with this without this being divergent all along the way. If it does do that though, and it's divergent, then it starts to build up for a really good play for a crash down the way harder. So that would be cool. Ultimately, Queen Bee's looking at this continuing on up towards, and so are other power traders, I guess, continuing on up towards the $40 zone. Personally, well, of course that's possible. It's a big ask, it's a big ask currently. Obviously, short squeeze dynamics, etc., could put us on the way. By the way, this is Reynaldo whistles good. Nice one, buddy. So, yeah, anyway, it's trending up the way. Good. Potential for a cup with handle right here, right now. Where have we seen that before? GME. 2 lips up the top. Significant. What makes it significant? Significant pullbacks is what makes the top significant. Otherwise, a top ain't a top at all. It's just it's just a snapshot before you actually move higher. What would therefore be an area to look to in terms of that potential for a pullback between the basin lows here of the cup and the lip would be around about the 50% area, which is around about, let's just call it 728. The 200 simple moving average is in there as well in this time frame. If we want to manage our risk, then we're looking at around about the 870 area for that 50 simple moving average, and the 236 Fibonacci as a pivot point for us. If we do close below those areas, it's significant because we're taking out the previous high that we had along the way here, which is obviously significant. And then, of course, that would be, all right overall, because it sets us up health-wise for the next move up the way. And while ultimately you can look up for far higher targets, of course, and all that, and I'm not going to say no to those ideas, my own sort of personal first look at this one, if we did see a cup with handle eventually come in here, would be to hope to get up towards $15, whereas the 1618 Fibonacci retracement point as well on this one between the recent high and low. So I'd look. So that would be the overall setup on that one at the minute. We are coming in here for again another dose of, as we've seen in the past, Rick and Morty lips. Jimmy won't be watching right now, but it would be a good time to point out that specifically it's that element of it right there. Which is what you want to see happen if we get to defend this region. So from a trader's perspective right now, there is an edge. It's just a matter of managing your risk. For me personally then as well, if I were to trade this, I'd be happy to trade this from this area. I would just need to be aware of the fact that I'd most likely have a stop loss, which is coming in at around about this area, which is visibly better buy region. That if we did drop down to that area, that would be going beyond my stop loss, and that is obviously where I'd want to have it, which is the temptation that a lot of people find themselves in when they're trading, and they're like, oh, that's good, but then that would be better, and then they add to their position, etc. So for me personally, if I was trading this one, I'd probably have to think about scaling into a position as opposed to going in, you know, and saying, bang, this is the target for me, because I'd then be managing my risk appropriately because of the potential for us to come towards that more significant gravity well of a pivot point just there for that one. Cool, nice one. So I think we've covered it all, right? Mwah. So cool, excellent. I see Ashley Lamb. Did you just join the Discord? That's excellent. Well done. Welcome to the family. Thank you, Rocky, says Queen Bee. You're welcome for that. So that's cool. So I'm gonna start to wrap up now. So that means I'll look over and see if Jimmy's gone live, all that sort of stuff. Jimmy's going to explode. GME is going to explode. Pass it on. That's cool. I'll bring up his stream, and then we'll do a stream raid on GME. Right? That'll be cool. But I'll do the credits and all that first, right? I'll do the credits first. Okay, so we'll duplicate this one to get Jamie's page. Still saying train spotting on there. Does it still say did you mean? Probably does. Jamie's not watching right now, but my first big thing for Jamie when I was searching his YouTube channel recently was to see that it didn't come up saying did you mean, like, because you know, if you were to search for Matt out of hell or something, it might come up saying did you mean? No, okay, that's not right. What's a transistor radio? I mean, what going to give me some spell mistakes? Showing results for translator radio, search instead. You know what I mean? So that used to happen when I searched trade spotting on YouTube, and now it doesn't. Nice. Much love, brother. Oh, he's not actually live yet. Cool. We'll do the credits and that here, and then we'll jump on over. I'll leave that playing, so that's quality. Oh, look at that. Oh, much love there for that one. So brilliant. Excellent. Cool. Okay. Brilliant. How cool is that? I think it's pretty cool. Everybody in the audience is maybe like, what's he on about? Nova Scotian Unicorn, thank you so much for joining up as an early supporter. Massively appreciated. Thanks very much, buddy. That's great. Lucy in the Sky with Diamond says, have a great day. Thank you so much. I hope you do too. Thanks to Jeff Casey. Thanks, Katie Babes. Thanks to Gober Labs. Go for the Danks, get Gober Hanks. One day closer to being rich AF. Harry Buckcheat says the Dead Money All-Stars probably paid, lol. Mining Boom says thanks Rocky, spinning the wheel there. Observe thyself. Did you mean? Yeah, so good, right? So good. It used to say did you mean train spotting? Now it's just trade spotting. It's so good. It's so freaking good. Like it's a change in the language of YouTube. You know, it's amazing. Super happy for him. Frostcrest in there chatting. Frostcrest, you've been a legend again today as well. Apple Blossom, thanks so much for telling people to hit like on the page and stuff like that, and as ever being a lovely presence in here. Thanks so much to Eddie B for being just such a great, lovely guy. Thanks so much for Ashley Lem for being just so willing to and up for being friends in a lovely community. Thanks so much Sitting Bull for dropping by again here today, chatting with Space earlier on, saying that you thought things were interesting, that they're liquidating in order to have cash to buy at the upcoming Citadel assets at bargain auction. Funny stuff. So yeah, lots of good stuff in there. Good to see you, Red Josh. Good to see you, Diana Dave. Good to see you, Jennifer King Campbell. Good to see you, Space Bananas. Good to see you, Kim Robbins, as much as ever. I love you as much as I always did, or something like that. Some sentence in there I meant to say properly. Reynaldo Moreno, love you, Rocky. Love you, Reynaldo, man. It's been another wonderful day. Thanks so much for bringing your own perfect, personal, particular brand of positivity in the background. I loved tuning over there and seeing you smiling after whistling, just as I knew you would be. Burning Ken says, thumbs up and hearts and peace, Rocky. Thanks so much. Yes, definitely. Thanks so much. I consider Rocky and Jamie my brothers from another mother. Yes, that's right. Same here. Dead Money All Stars says, or something like that. Ladyfinger Smith says thanks, Rocky Outcrop, and Stephen Klimber says thanks. Yeah, so that's brilliant. So I'm going to now bring up the wait, I didn't do clips for GME or anything. Maybe I'll make some separate stuff later or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to make promises that I don't deliver on. Anyway. But just before I hide the browser, that's Jamie's stream over there. That's a link to it. So go stream raid whenever you want. I am about to do my credits. And now you get an idea of the delay between me and you there. I put in an extra little delay just to keep it so that it was never buffering. And yeah, cool. Streamlabs. Help me roll these credits, Streamlabs. Why are they rolling good? Donor, Bad Mama Jamma, thank you. You're such a legend. You're such a great guy, and yeah, you're just a great guy. It's really great. Really appreciate it. This is who he is. It's just he is a generous guy. He just is. He always has been. He's got experience of being a generous guy. So it's kind of cool. It's like he's not just flinging money around. He actually thinks I deserve it, which is a bizarre thing, and that a really lovely vote of confidence. Give it away. Yeah, so thanks so much to the super chatters as well. Supernova, Daniel Assange, JT858, Dober Mamba, D Harker, Das, Joppa Bridges, Chris Sweeney, Forrest Gagn, Katie Babes, J Stonk25, That Jiu Jitsu Guy, Brady Pearl, YouTube, Adam O, Griffin, and Red Joshsv. Thank you to yous. Yous are very special people. I really do appreciate it. And to, of course, Nova Scotian Unicorn for becoming a member here today. And then everybody that chose to subscribe. I really do hope to see you again in another live stream sometime. And I am really grateful to all of you for tuning in. Bad Mama Jamma. You're a good guy. You're one bad Mama Jamma.